Now we need some height to the house, so we're going to come over here and click on the push-pull button. And if you notice here, this surface is kind of dotted, so that's the surface that we want to push-pull. And we're going to make a two-story house. So what we're going to do is we are going to push this up about 30 feet. So watch your distance box down below, and let's go up to about 30 feet or so. So there we go. So here's about 30 feet approximately. So once we have that, then let's orbit. All right, click on the orbit tool, or you can push down on the roller, and let's orbit over to the short side. Now this is your width of the rectangle. Remember, this was the length, this is the long side, and then this is the short side, because now we're going to make a pitch to the roof, and we're going to draw a triangle. So we're going to come over, we're going to click on the pencil tool, and we're going to hover over this line until we find the midpoint. Google Sketchup will let me know once I find the midpoint. So once I come over here, oh, there we go, there's the midpoint, and that's going to be the apex of our triangle. So I'm going to draw a line, so I'm going to left click, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line, just sort of a shallow diagonal line, and I'm going to come over until I see where it says on edge, and then unclick. And then I'm going to pick it up again right here where it says endpoint. I'm going to come straight across. Now, if you did this correctly, you'll see a green line. If you ended up switching it, you'll see a red line. So then come across until you see on edge, okay, and then finish it out, okay. Connect these 2 points. Make sure it says endpoint and then endpoint, okay. Now you've drawn your triangle. Make sure that everything is connected, or else your next step is not going to work. Now we're going to do a push-pull again. So click on push-pull, and we are going to push this material all the way out to the end. And we're actually going to get rid of it. And now we have a roof pitch. See? Now that we have a roof pitch, we're going to get rid of this line right here. And we're going to use the eraser. So come over and grab the eraser and click on the line, and it is now officially gone. So now we have a house that has a pitched roof, and let's orbit to the front of the house. This is the front of the house, and now I'm going to show you how to get doors and windows from the 3D warehouse. We're going to be using this side now. So if you come over here and you click on components, this is going to bring up your default tray with your 3D warehouse search bar. And what we're going to search now is front door. So front door. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through, find one that we might like. Once we find one, then it will, once we click on it, it will attach it to our cursor. So it will follow me until I left click. Once I left click, now if you notice, it's kind of, it might go into the house a little bit, so I'm going to set it out somewhat, and then I'm going to move it. So I'm going to put it out in front a little bit. I'm going to orbit, and then I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, orbit. This is where I'm going to use the move tool. Okay, I'm going to come over here, click on the move tool, move. And here's what I suggest. I suggest that you grab it from the end point. Don't grab it from the center. Grab it from the end point and then pull it into the house. Now, you might, like for this door, it might need to go in just a little bit. And you might have to play with it. Sometimes, like for here, I'm going to have to set it, and then I'm going to have to move it in a little bit. So sometimes you have to play around with it a little bit. So let's push it in a little bit. Now let's zoom out, take a look at it. I think I pushed it in a little too far, so let me pull it out just a little bit. So I'm going to grab the end and see if I can pull it out a little bit. And there we go. That looks pretty good. All right, so there's my front door. It might need to be centered just a little bit. So let's tweak it. Let's grab it. There we go. Move it over just a little. Okay, so now let's go get some windows. So up here, if you search just windows, it's going to give you a whole bunch. So if you have an idea of what kind of windows you want, small windows, big windows, large windows, or different color windows or something, then you can put that. I want, since this is a big house, I'm going to search large windows. I want to put some large windows in the house. So I'm going to search for large windows, and I kind of like these. Let's try these. I'm going to click on it. It's going to attach to my cursor, and don't worry if it lags, just give it a minute. So I'm going to put one here. Now, it looks like it's inside the house, so I'm going to have to move it out just a little bit. So let's go and notice how I'm orbiting. Okay, I'm orbiting around and I'm zooming in. So what now I'm going to do is, there again, use the move tool, grab it by the corner or on the edge and pull it out just a little bit. So it's not stuck inside the house. It's okay if you pull it out just a little bit. So there we go. Now I'm going to show you a trick. If you want to use the same window, you can copy and paste it. So I'm actually going to click on the select tool because it gets a little funky. Click off of the window, select the window, then Control C as in Charlie, that's copy, and then hit Control V as in Victor. And then now that same window should show up. There we go. And now I just need to move it down. So that's Control C and then Control V, and I just need to move the window a little bit. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a different window real quick and show you how to do that again. So let's say I want to do this for upstairs. I want to put this window in upstairs. Okay. Again, let's use the select tool. I need to click off of it. Click back on it. All right. Control C, then Control V. Okay. Set it here, and then Control V again, and then there's my other window. And this is pretty much it. You just need one door and 4 windows. I've got 5 here, but that's at least. You can put more if you want. So that's house 1 in Google SketchUp.